Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Too Heavy Wrestling Podcast. We have a full house today. Myself, Zach, Eddie, Clayton, ready to talk about wrestling with you guys. And we're post Payback. Got a lot of stuff to talk about on there. I'll pull up the card real quick while I do that. Mingle. Hey.
So,
I don't like wrestling right now.
excuse me?
Modern wrestling, just after it. Dude, there's just much going on.
So you don't...
No, there's not enough interesting crap going on.
So you're not interested in modern wrestling right now because there's oversaturation?
Yes. Bro, I need to look up what saturation even means. Yeah,
Is there too much content for you to keep up with? Because I'd
I'm not
argue...
interested in the content. Just like...
Of all pro wrestling or just WWE?
Well, a thing I'm interested in is they're letting Grayson Waller basically train Austin Theory how to be likable.
That is the fuck,
I like
dude.
that.
When I saw those two on screen
That's
at
fine.
first,
That's good.
I was like, oh, they're going to bury Grayson Waller by having him get dragged down with Austin Theory. And then I saw the way they interacted, and I was like, wait, they're doing this on camera?
They're doing what Eddie blatantly blurted out whenever he said Grayson Waller is the better Austin Theory.
First off, I said that. Secondly,
No, I think Grayson Waller is the better Grayson Waller. I think it's hard to compare the two, personally.
Secondly, I think it's hilarious that they're doing that on screen. They're like, hey, on TV, you're just going to go out there and show Austin Theory what he should have been doing this whole time. That's on the job training, literally.
Hey, if you say you're from Atlanta one more time, if you say it one more time.
You have to be more. You have to be more than just from Atlanta.
Not anymore. You're not from Atlanta anymore.
All right. I have the Payback card pulled up here, so we can kind of run through that real quick. And then after that, we're going to talk about this impending faction war that I think is starting to brew within WWE that I'm very interested in.
Games.
Yeah, they're setting up a pretty good Survivor Series. Hopefully, we'll see. It's not guaranteed they'll do War Games, but we'll see what happens.
And
first,
I also never thought I'd say I miss Bobby Lashley wrestling.
oh, dude,
I do miss Bobby Lashley wrestling so much.
I even like back in the day, like Lashley versus Umaga.
That's what I loved. Favorite.
I've always loved Bobby Lashley in the ring. I've not necessarily always agreed with his character work, but I've never disliked him in the ring.
He has a nice spear too. I like his spear. I'm not saying it's the most powerful thing ever.
No,
Don't get me wrong. I just like
clean.
it.
It's a rolling spear.
I don't like the roll. I don't like the flip.
Bobby Lashley is one of the clearest examples of somebody who enjoys what they're doing. I think there's a very strong argument to be made that
For sure.
not every wrestler, I would say not even 70%, not even 60% of the wrestlers that go out there on the week-to-week basis actually like what they're doing, whether or not they're satisfied with their position within
I
the
think
hierarchy.
He just holistically appreciates where he is.
And he takes it seriously. He enjoys it, and he takes it seriously, and you're always going to get minimum B+ effort and quality out of that particular wrestler.
Well, and the cool part about Bobby Lashley right now is it looks like he's starting to play this main field type role, but he's also so much like able to just be in the ring and like kind of do that.
This man hit a spear in a full suit.
Yeah.
Show me somebody hitting a spear in a full suit with no tears.
You can't. All right, so let's run through Payback real quick. First match, Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in the steel cage.
Best match of the card, best women's, second best or second best women's match of this year, best or second best women's match of the past decade.
I will honestly say that's probably one of Trish's best matches of her career, and that's why she got the standing ovation
she didn't get carried through the match. She participated.
That's what I'm saying.
And like was a part of it. She didn't need she could have. I genuinely believe that because that was an A+ match. I think that if you put any other wrestler in there that isn't Becky Lynch, Trish still could have carried that to like a B or a B+. Like both of them together doing that is what made that special. But Trish holding her own, I think, needs to be highlighted given where she's at in her career.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad they gave her someone whose knees work. That's pretty cool. I think that's a great one. That wouldn't have never worked with Lita. Absolutely not. I'm glad they wanted to make something with Lita.
I thought you were going to say Kevin Nash. I'm like, I don't
separate her
remember the
hips.
last time Trish versus Kevin Nash happened, but
I think those tag matches were the test of who they were going to push this forward with.
Just glad
And then
it wasn't
Trish
Lita.
just became super committed. And I honestly didn't think she was going to put this much commitment being back. We thought she was going to be gone after Money in the Bank.
Well, and she got drafted. I was like, oh my God, she's a part of this draft.
Yeah.
Like that is what really started.
Me.
Yeah, that cemented in me that like, oh, she might be here for a while.
We were all mad that she got drafted too. They're like, why? A lot of people were.
I was.
Yeah,
I'll admit it. I don't even think mad as much as upset.
I was surprised.
I was upset because I was like, she's not going to be there that long enough to matter in this draft. And so far, she's outlasted the draft. The draft has already
definitely gone longer.
Yeah.
I think Trish relitigated her pre-NXT women's career perfectly.
Yeah.
This entire comeback run.
Righting a lot of wrongs. And you can definitively say whatever weaknesses there were in this return run was not within her control at all. Yeah.
So no, she's been killing it. It's great. I love it.
Is there anything next for Trish, or is she going to step away for a minute? Because it seems like we've shifted a little bit towards what is Zoe Stark going to do now that because Zoe Stark did attack Trish afterwards.
I think that could be the retirement match.
If she put her boots in the ring after that match, that's a hell of a match to retire on, especially with an opponent like Becky Lynch.
I'm saying with Zoe Stark.
Say that again?
That Trish would do a passing match with Zoe to retire.
She shouldn't. I think she did a way better job passing to Becky than she did. Granted, Becky.
If she walked away now, I would be completely okay.
Yeah, I'd
with
say
it.
throw up. I'd say put the boots up at that point.
Yeah.
If that's your final match.
It won't be her final match. And do you want to know why it's not going to be her final match?
Why?
Because before Trish steps away for good this next time, we are getting Charlotte and Trish at WrestleMania.
Didn't we already get that?
Yeah. Well, SummerSlam.
There's SummerSlam, and then there's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like Trish.
I don't
I could see it for WrestleMania 40.
I
need it.
Don't see Trish stepping away, me personally. I could see a Zoe Stark retirement match. I think that'd be an incredible fumbling. But I personally don't see her stepping away until we see her at WrestleMania versus one of these three. Number one being Charlotte, number two being Bianca, number three being Rhea. And I don't see it happening with Rhea because Rhea's going to be tied up with other people for like the next two WrestleManias.
That's fine with me, honestly. Like I just don't need it to be Charlotte.
I feel like
you need to get over your Charlotte hate.
I feel like if it's like Zoe Stark and Trish Stratus, I don't know why in my head the first thing I get is Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin energy when Kurt Angle was going on his little retirement thing. But I know they were like, I don't.
That only was made holistically worse because Kurt has came out and said how much he wishes it didn't happen.
Yeah, Kurt didn't do that any favors.
No, I think Zoe's capable of being better than Baron Corbin. So that's absolutely.
My Charlotte hate is fine and will bear zero repercussions. The next match, LA Knight versus The Miz with John Cena as a special guest referee. It was all right. It was good.
I just like all the interactions with the three of them.
Yeah.
I don't need an LA Knight versus John Cena feud. I didn't like the little teasing.
I need Miz to beat up John Cena again.
Yeah.
Didn't see him though. How was he even able to beat him up if he can't see him? I don't understand that. This is some Austin Theory type stuff. I just want to point that out.
The best part of that entire segment was the camera crew's commitment to doing John Cena's without him there.
Yeah, they didn't.
Great job.
I'm going to address what he just said before I talk about the match. You're going to sit here as a student of wrestling, the analogies of the history of wrestling, and you're going to have a problem with The Miz wrestling John Cena without actually wrestling him. That was motherfucking theater out there in that Raw ring. That was theater. That is what a wrestler is supposed to be. Here's this blank template. Figure it out. You're not out there with anybody else. He could have cut any type of promo, and he cut the most unique promo that we have seen in the modern era off of something as simple as, you can't see me. That's all I had to say about that. Sorry. I love that. That was That was an A+ segment.
Yo, I just swear I need to put a muzzle in your mouth before I explain something. Like, jeez. Like, I mean, in terms
I'm sorry. That grabber came off super attacking. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just don't understand why you take literally every point seriously. But back to what I was going to explain is it's like some Austin Theory type stuff. I want to clarify really quick. That would have actually been really good if Austin Theory tried that, is what I was going to try to refer it back to. So
if he was that capable of a wrestler.
And if he didn't have the brain of a preschooler, I guess.
Are you saying all people from Atlanta have that?
No, I'm not saying all people from Atlanta. I just think the people who have to specify that they're from Atlanta more than once in one night, that like those types of people. And if you name a finisher after Atlanta, I guess. That's like if we had something called the St. Louis Stampede and I just did a freaking Vader bomb on someone.
Well, so LA Knight does win though. John Cena raises the arm, passes him the torch a little bit, gets the rub from John Cena.
I like it.
Well, so a lot of things have come to light over the last week or so. LA Knight signed his 5-year extension.
Right? Good.
He signed a very long contract extension. WWE sources came out and said that was the only reason he wasn't getting the mega push that he should have been getting. So at this point with that,
he also, just to on top of that, he's also been internally listed as the top babyface in the company at this point.
On SmackDown.
Yeah,
that was specified.
Yeah, he's gonna have.
When you look at a list of all the wrestlers right now, he's the top babyface on SmackDown. So I see a push coming for LA Knight that is.
Once we talk about SmackDown, we're gonna be able to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So after that, after the LA Knight Miz match, we got Rey Mysterio going over Austin Theory by pinfall for the United States Championship.
Bathroom match.
Yeah, it was okay.
Fairly well.
Yeah. Any thoughts at all?
Like, it wasn't even a well-worked match, in my opinion. It was very average.
It was a roll-up victory, wasn't it? It was a Monday Night Raw win, or it was a
most devastating move in all of wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was Brian Alvarez, post Payback. Words are hard. Who said something that kind of resonated with me about Austin Theory. He wrestles a very stereotypical 1990s style that doesn't have any pomp or flair to it. It's just boring and standard, and also his finisher sucks.
Yeah. He didn't, the stupid rolling drop kick. I don't, how he finished someone with that. It's like, yo, you can take a bat and hit me in the back with it, than rather watch Austin Theory wrestle at this point. Please don't actually do that. But like, there are so many other things I'd rather be doing than watching Austin Theory wrestle. Maybe he'll say he's from Australia. A-Town Down being Australia.
A-Town Down Under.
A-Town Down Under.
Yeah, dude. Does the kangaroo kick like MJF now? Just
what?
I got a soda if somebody's choosing that Grayson Waller says that at some point.
Oh my God. A-Town, that's the name of their tag team.
Yo, he could do the kangaroo kick. A rolling kangaroo kick into the ring. Yo, take notes.
Yeah.
Bum ass.
All right, we'll move on. Steel City Street Fight for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships between the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Sami and Kevin. Probably the shock of the night.
Second best match on the card.
Second best match.
I wouldn't say shock.
I was shocked. I did not expect them to lose the titles.
I seen it coming.
Finn and Damian won that. You didn't even pick them to win on your card for the league.
I didn't either, but I wouldn't say it's a shock.
When you're looking for an advantage.
Just saying. Anyways.
I wouldn't say it's a shock. Like, there was totally the possibility.
I expected them to carry it through, like, Survivor Series.
It's just that WrestleMania down the hill.
Yeah. The second
That's
they
natural.
both got hurt in different ways, them dropping the titles became on the table.
That's a good point, but
what's coming out of it is why I'm more excited about it now.
I think we're about to be reinvigorated in wrestling based off of the fallout of that match in particular.
I think tag team wrestling in general too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, second best match of the night. Overall, it was a great match. You should go back and watch it. At one point, they put on Penguins jerseys, some hockey fight stuff. It was very clever, very street fighty. Kevin Owens got busted open. right? He was the one bleeding.
He probably broke his tailbone at some point.
There was some color.
He missed that. He missed that table.
Yeah,
he missed that. Like they kind of glossed. They kind of glossed over it, but he landed lower back down on that concrete, and I was actually very concerned.
My knees twinge anytime I see something like that. My knees buckle.
I did not. I liked the spot, but I didn't like the missing the spot.
Yeah.
Honestly, good. I hate saying this about two guys I really like. Good riddance at this point.
Did you want them to split off?
Not necessarily.
I don't want them to feud.
I don't want them to feud either. Please, no. I've had enough of that in my life. I've gone back and watched the stuff outside of WWE.
Kevin clearly needs time off. Let's give him his time off. Let's reintroduce him back at the Rumble. Do whatever. Sammy is strong enough as a singles competitor on his own. Strong enough on his own as a singles competitor and believed in back that he doesn't need Kevin alongside him to do the stuff that he's about to do.
I think Sammy is the perfect person to take this title off of Seth and
Well, okay, actually, counterpoint, I would say Kevin Owens. Look, both of their heel work is just, in my opinion, of course, Ian Marks.
I don't want him to be heel though. I want him to
I would love Kevin Owens to be heel.
I mean Sami Zayn though.
No, Sami Zayn's when he had the Intercontinental title, that Sami Zayn, my favorite Sami Zayn, but like face Sami Zayn now I'm completely fine with.
Yeah.
Heel Kevin Owens makes sense to take the title from Seth Rollins. Heel Shinsuke, that's not going to happen. We know.
That guy's overrated.
We understand. It's fine.
I'm going to bring up a point though, because with the whole Jey Uso thing, because I don't remember if this was brought up on SmackDown, but they were bringing it up on Raw. The whole, because Jey came to Raw, there is a trade that's happening to SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm really afraid that's going to be Cody Rhodes.
It's totally going to be Cody Rhodes.
What they're wanting us to think.
Yeah.
And because Kevin wasn't on Raw, it's making me think it's him.
I'm okay with them splitting and going to different brands because it means that there's a 0% chance they'll feud, and it lets them both be face at the same time.
Like I'd be fine with that. The Cody thing just doesn't work on paper if 40 is the end game.
Yeah.
Like it's
you can win the Rumble and have it happen again.
Literally a lot of the problems with the Bloodline storyline right now is that on paper we're 7 to 9 months away from our end game.
I don't want back-to-back Rumble.
I know.
I don't either. I hate that
either.
HBK had back-to-back Rumble wins. And he's a Mount Rushmore.
He's great.
Find out what that means on the next episode.
Yeah.
There are just so many factors to play into it. And I was going to try to incorporate a joke with Nikki Cross, but honestly, and say who has the same value as Jey Uso and say something about Nikki Cross. Yeah. Honestly, talking about Austin Theory just wore me out already.
You're already done.
Yeah, I'm already done. Like, look, I would realistically think Cody. I don't want Kevin Owens to be on the same show as Roman though. Like, I don't want more fights of Roman and Kevin. Like, as cool as those fights were, I'm done with those.
Would you rather Kevin go over there and try to avoid Bloodline and navigate that, or have Sammy go over there and probably just completely regress and be a side character of the Bloodline storyline again? Because you can't have Sammy go over there and just ignore all of that. It has to be addressed.
Right. If I were to choose between who I'd rather want to be a world champion right now, goes against my character and who I love, but heel Kevin Owens or face Sami Zayn,
yeah,
I would rather have heel Kevin Owens.
Like I loved heel Kevin Owens.
I love heel Kevin Owens so much. It's such a good character. It makes sense for literally just everything about him. So he should, in my opinion, and I know we've I feel like my answer changes all the damn time with who is going to be the person to take the title from Seth. I originally thought it was Cody, but apparently my theory's out the window at this point. It was going well for a while, and then that's out the door.
What's up, Clayton?
Depending upon the resolution of the JD McDonough situation as it pertains to Judgment Day,
yeah,
I think it is dramatically more probable Finn or Damian ends up on SmackDown instead.
But they have the title. So
They have the title,
have...
so like them being on another show doesn't matter until it's time for somebody to leave the group.
Tommy can go on any show too.
I would logically think Damien, because obviously Finn and JD are together, and they're essentially, you now have two sub factions within the main faction, because Mommy and Dami,
hold on,
JD and Finn.
Yeah,
we're forgetting Mommy is technically, even though the title's not Raw. Is the title Raw?
Yeah.
No, it's it is the Raw title, but it's the
Mommy should not be over there. We're breaking the rules again.
Nobody said her.
Even though Dami needs his mommy at all times, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
All right, well, we'll be touching a little bit more on that, but if we're going to talk about Mommy, the next match on the card was Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez.
That could have been way better.
It should have been way better.
Yeah.
There's no reason that match turned out the way it was.
Raquel's not in that spot yet.
I was going to say it's going to reflect poorly on Raquel, even though I think Rhea's a little bit to blame on that.
It was they were equally not showing the right stuff in this match.
Yeah, but because Rhea's the champ, it doesn't affect her like that.
Well, here's the thing.
This is going to be a classic case of Raquel just going back down to the bottom. She shouldn't.
I blame Raquel because Rhea in a squash got a good match out of Zelina.
Yeah.
And on paper, I understand like miscommunications happen in the ring, but on paper, Rhea and Raquel should turn out a better match than Rhea and Zelina.
Well, not even on paper. They have before. This is not the first time they've had that.
Yeah, that's not the first time. And it was not up to snuff to what they've done in the past. Like, if Austin Theory and Rey Mysterio's match wasn't on this card, and it honestly shouldn't have been, that women's championship match would be the worst match on the card.
My issue with Raquel is not that she is... I feel she has the ability to be up there, but the only thing going for her at this very moment, because she doesn't really have a character, is how tall she is. So she was the only one that could like stand up to Rhea Ripley and look like a threat.
Yeah.
Well, another thing is we also still need to put Rhea's used to working with smaller wrestlers. Rhea's used to like taking these humongous bumps, like not humongous bumps, but like moves that make the little person seem more dominant.
Yeah.
You can use the same case.
She kind of does the Gunther thing.
Yeah, same case for really everybody she's fought till Raquel. And I mean, even though her matches were
I would say smaller wrestler, or if not smaller, then somebody who is way more experienced within the ring than her.
Yeah,
that could cover up some of the other things, like when she doesn't know what to do. But I agree overall with your point.
Like she was fighting Raquel pretty frequently on NXT. Yeah, gets called up way before Raquel. Kinda go through this like landscape of I kind of set her own move set, and like the way she took moves, she enhanced it a lot more for smaller competitors when she moved up to the main roster. So I think that also may have had a big play in it. But Raquel, same deal, used to working against smaller wrestlers. I think if you put blame on one person, it'd probably be Raquel, if I'm going to be honest.
Which sucks.
It does.
But we'll move on. So the main event, Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I can't get used to that name. I don't know why I can't get used to
Seth freaking Rollins.
Sounds like sounds like an 8th grader.
Yeah.
My
middle name's freaking.
That's freaking Rollins.
Freaking Rollins is on Monday Night Raw.
This should have been the first match. You should have this and the steel cage match should have been flipped, but they can't be flipped because there was no title on the line.
Well, knowing now, at least watching.
Yeah,
the show,
that's hindsight.
No, even going into it, the whole story with Seth and Shinsuke was Seth's back problems.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything for me when Shinsuke's finisher to target that for the back, the Kinshasa doesn't look good.
Yeah.
On the back to the human on off switch, sure, absolutely, 100% looks like it's gonna be moderately painful.
Right.
But I don't think the build was very good.
It was all right. It wasn't very.
No, I don't think it was.
I think that really, and it's like no knock against Shinsuke because like to be
like a 4-week build.
Yeah, I think it was a.
To be fair,
issue,
like if it
honest.
was Seth within English as a first language other competitor, I think the build still would have sucked. because they centered it around the back issue. If it was the back issue and then somehow you got Becky Lynch involved with it or something, like there should have been more than what it was. So for me, the main event was the most disappointing match on the card.
It's that is the most they could have done with the 4 or 5 weeks they had to build. It's a fact.
I don't know what it is about WWE booking either Shinsuke Nakamura to be on a team or like be surrounded by other people, or issue with body part. Oh, AJ's balls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's back.
Yeah.
Whenever he's in a world title picture, it's like, dude, like
they just need to pull the trigger on Shinsuke Nakamura being a Paul Heyman guy so that he can have a mouthpiece that will engage whoever he's fighting in a way that everyone will kind of vibe with. And
I know you're gonna hate me for this, but that's why it worked with Rick Boogs.
Yeah, 100%. That's why it worked with Rick Boogs, because he had a mouthpiece, someone to talk for him.
My only gripe with the match, it wasn't the match itself, but it was the after match stuff, because we didn't get any cash and tease. But after it went off air, Shinsuke attacked Seth.
Yeah, that was a choice.
So it was like, why?
We're getting
for the live
one
crowd,
more.
yes. But like, does this mean we're getting more later, or is this all just done at this point?
No, it probably means we're getting more, and I don't want to see.
I don't need more of it.
Mediocre crap. I'm gonna be honest.
But the fallout to Payback, everything that we're seeing moving forward, that seems like it's pretty exciting right now. It seems like WWE is moving forward with a faction in control type war, because not only are we starting to see the seeds of Judgment Day acknowledging the power level of the bloodline and how crumbled it is, but you're seeing the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley start to confront the Judgment Day around, we also see that there's about to be a vacuum of power and we think we're going to take it. So WWE seems like they're moving forward with factions are in control.
I've also noted, well, I actually saw an edit on Instagram today, which had Judgment Day. I think they put Jimmy Uso in the Judgment Day, like for War Games.
I think Jey Uso, because Dominic offered Jey Uso to join Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Not Jimmy?
No.
Jey.
On Raw.
Oh, okay. Well, it had Jimmy.
Anyway,
the graphic
Uso
had Jimmy.
Oh, well then, yeah.
And then the graphic for the Hurt, I want to say the Hurt Business. Do they have a name?
They don't have a name yet. Everyone's
equating Hurt Business 2.0 right
Everyone's equating them to the Hurt Business because of the way that the faction.
Lashley's lads. I don't want to. Whatever. So yeah, them, and then AJ Styles and Carl Anderson. I'm like, yo, who the hell made this? Is the first. Don't put Carl Anderson in a match if Luke Gallows isn't in there.
It's weird that if we are considering the OC in this, they're 4 of 4, like they're in last place.
I know. Look, if I think there could be additions made to Lashley's lads or
the Hurt.
Bobby Lashley's group. That's what they're gonna be for
or
right
the
now.
Hurt Profits.
The Hurt Profits.
I actually like that.
Yeah, the Hurt Profits.
The Hurty Boys.
Or Street Business.
Or the Profits of Hurt.
The Profits of Hurt. Street Business.
Street Business was good too.
Either one of those.
They could recruit. I feel like they could get some people. Honestly, well, actually, I want your take because I don't know if this is a good idea. I just thought about it. And, just let me know. Who do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know who you're going to say.
Okay.
There aren't that many black wrestlers, so I don't know who
I was
going to
say Apollo.
Apollo would be great. That would give him something to do, and he's so good in the ring.
Yeah.
Apollo is so underrated.
Very much so.
Wesley.
I think he's just too small to be in that, kind of atmosphere. Even with JD McDonough.
Yes, but
Dom's huge.
You have pre-existing history with Dom.
Yeah.
You can send those two to go have a main event match on NXT.
With Dom, JD, and Wesley.
You need other wrestlers that, in my opinion, you need other. Let me preface that because I know I've had some fiery opinions just today. You need. I think we can all agree that while Dominic Mysterio is improving, he's still greenish.
Yeah.
Like a mauve green.
Rough around the edges.
So for anybody in the faction, when they're an active wrestler in the faction, you need, if they're not good enough in the ring, you need similar body composition type wrestlers to match with them. So either Uso, whenever the bloodline reforms, can match with Dom, could match with Wesley if he's in the Prophets of Hurt, could match with JD McDonough. Like, you now get more interchangeable parts between the factions.
Or you put Solo in there because there's physical stature, but then there's placement in the group.
Yes.
And you have Solo as kind of that, even though he's the enforcer, he's like bottom, right? He's in that same.
He's the greener.
Which also poses issues where you have Michin in the OC, and you have Rhea in the Judgment Day. So it just makes sense that the bloodline goes to their family. We got to pull in Nia Jax. That way we have female representation in the bloodline.
I just have one thing.
Yeah.
Tamina's right there.
And her body is like just the bones on that
And hear
woman.
me out. Nia Jax.
She needs more calcium, if I'm going to be honest.
You put Nia Jax in the bloodline. She just runs rampant. Put the bloodline back on top. Call it the Nia Jax line.
There is a greater probability of, correct me if I'm saying her name wrong, Ava Ravine being called up and put into the bloodline.
Ava Rain. Yeah.
Ava Ravine. You were playing Minecraft earlier, huh?
Hey, man.
But no, my point is the bloodline needs
They do.
And Nia Jax is the perfect fit for that. I don't see anyone else that makes more sense. She's related.
Kind of another thing. If we're going
I don't see anyone else that makes sense. Nia Jax.
Oh my God.
All right.
This boy's got the Thickum goggles on.
There's something I want to talk about, like kind of based off the stature and structure. So
we'll talk about this and then we got to move
on. Like you do want to pair the biggest guys off against each other. So you'd want Lashley against Dom, and then you'd want to like keep going down the line.
And then Roman.
Yeah, like Dom.
I do want to say, I don't know what.
Right.
Like we could all get on one table and he could curl all of us. Like that's what he's 100%. So ginormous. Dude.
I don't know what he's going on about.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, if they do it, because Ciampa's been popping up here and there on Raw.
Yeah.
They still need probably, I would say, about 2 to 3 more factions to like really have this fleshed out.
You get the family
so
or whatever.
You bring DIY back, even though they're probably going to be the jobbers of the faction.
The way, yeah.
The way, DIY, whatever. Just have them there because somebody has to lose.
And if they don't do that, it's going to be the OC, and that looks bad because
the OC.
That's also happening too. They sprinkled that in.
It's just a dumpster fire. They were losing to Pretty Deadly before
I need the
Rich
OC.
Holland killed that dude's shoulder.
They're teasing the OC turning on AJ Styles.
The OC needs to remain a core strong faction and get a monster main event push that they deserve. There's not a member of that faction that is bad.
No.
Also, I thought of something good too.
Go ahead.
Pretty Deadly, if they didn't get injured, they could do something with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And I thought that could have worked. They were basically what Grayson Waller is trying to be for Austin Theory now. And it actually was. I'm just going to let you know I wasn't interested in Austin Theory still.
Oh, really? You didn't like the guy from Atlanta?
He's from Atlanta.
I would say the jury is out on Mia Yim, but it's not her fault.
Yeah.
100% not her fault.
It's I only think of her in the OC 50% of the time that I think of the OC anyway, so it's fine.
At least they're consistent and they haven't made her show up once and then have her go away. She's actually
I was afraid she was going to join the OC and then never. Because she was originally joined to be the counter to Rhea to the.
But when she got drafted with the OC, that made me I was like, hey, you actually.
All right, well, pay attention to WWE over the next couple weeks and months because faction warfare is about to be a thing, and I'm pretty excited about it. But speaking of things that we're excited about, we are ready to move on with the next round of our Clayton's Trivia Extravaganza 2000. Is that what we're calling it?
Sure. That's what you can call a colonizer.
Last time, Eddie won.
Eddie won.
He chose the difficulty.
Yeah, he chose hard difficulty.
He chose hard, which the category for this week is
Charlotte Flair.
What? I said my disdain for Charlotte Flair would bear no consequences.
Yeah, that
But
sounds
that's
like
your
a punk ass thing
consequence,
to say,
Randy.
so it wasn't recognized.
I'm so upset with you right now.
Okay, so
Can I have more than one marker?
I only have one marker.
Why
you
does
got
Zach have 4?
because they normally come with 4, and the rest of the markers are in my backpack, and I'm not pulling them
Give that
out.
one, Daddy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
on the topic, the reason why Charlotte Flair is a topic for today's game is, in my opinion, it was a historic match at Payback in that steel cage match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. It showed that women wrestlers, when given the opportunity, can produce greatness. I'm not even acknowledging whatever disrespect you've written on that board.
It's not disrespectful if it's factual.
Anyway, so when reviewing the history of the greatest women's wrestler of all time, who has had... Let me make sure I have these numbers right, because I didn't actually write that down.
I was trying to make an acronym for Atlanta, and I couldn't. So could you repeat the question? Oh, he just...
Charlotte Flair, who has had 2 NXT Women's Championship reigns.
Mhm.
She has had, I wanted to get this right, 6 of the Raw Women's Championship reign, currently known as the Women's World Heavyweight, and 7 reigns of the SmackDown Women's Championship, now known as the WWE Women's Championship. So in totality, that is, I'm sorry, she was a Divas champion too. So that's 16 title reigns.
Best reign.
Well, the Divas turned into the Raw Women's.
The
That's
lineage.
same.
I am recognizing the lineage for the basis of this game.
Okay.
Because it happened. As much as I hate that period happened.
Best title reign.
Well, no. My point is that one of those Raw titles and the Divas title is one and the same. She's a 15 time in WWE's.
Sure, fine.
They technically had a match for the title, so
Yeah, she defended a title.
yeah, she defended a title, which
Yes.
Of those 15 reigns that WWE recognizes and the 16 reigns I'm recognizing,
Yeah.
there have only been 5 women to beat Charlotte clean.
ooh.
Now, here is what I'm constituting as clean. This means no multi-member match,
Yep.
no Money in the Bank cash-in, no interference that got Charlotte the win.
No money in the.
Or I'm sorry, no interference that got the person who beat Charlotte the win. If Charlotte had interference and that person overcame it and still won the match, I'm counting that as a clean win. There have only been 5 women. Give me the 5 women. Bonus points if you can tell me either A, for what belt it was, or B, what show she lost it on. And obviously, you'll get 2 bonus points if you can give me both.
So are you talking about like 5 separate times or 5 separate women?
5 separate women.
Okay.
5 separate women. Because there's been more than 5 separate times.
Cool.
And I'll give you, gents, 60 seconds.
How, dude? And I just, one more question.
Go for it.
This is in the time that she won her first title. Only 5 women.
From the point of her first win to her most recent loss for the title.
Okay.
5 women.
Cool. That helps. Thank you. Oh. I got 2 off the dome. This is actually...
Oh, it's actually hard?
No, it's not hard. It's like...
So this counts her NXT titles, then.
Yes.
It does count her NXT titles.
30 seconds, Shins.
Probably losing this one.
Well, certainly with that attitude.
I don't know.
I got 5.
I have 5 answers. Couldn't tell you how many of them are right.
Yeah, I'm same way.
Hands down.
I saw one of yours and I'm kind of mad I didn't think of.
Eddie.
Okay.
Since you won last time.
Yes.
Show the people at home your answers and read them off.
I got 2 I know are 100% for sure. Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's. I got Sasha Banks on Raw for the Raw Women's title. Those are 2 I know 100% are correct. I put Becky Lynch. I feel like I put SmackDown, but I'm kind of thinking it's NXT. But I'm going to say SmackDown.
For which are you going for?
Becky Lynch.
The title belt itself, or where she won the title belt at?
Where she won the title belt.
Okay.
Oh, that's so dumb of me. Why would I say that?
So you got 5 points.
Okay. I put Bailey.
6 points.
And I put Ronda.
7 points.
Okay, I got all 5 people.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
7 points for Eddie. Zach, since you've won a game.
So I had 4 out of 5 of the people. I put Natalia as my only other different person, and just because I couldn't remember who she won the SmackDown title off of. And then, but for my, I have Rhea for the Raw Women's. I couldn't remember where she won it at. I couldn't remember if it was WrestleMania or not.
2 points.
And then for Sasha Banks, I also thought she won an NXT title off of Charlotte.
She did not.
She did not. So
not with the guidelines that I gave you.
So
Who interfered?
It was a multi-person.
Oh, okay.
Then
You didn't say anything about multi-person.
He did say
I
something
did.
about
I
multi-person.
100% did.
He
it
did.
not being. It was only in singles matches.
Only in single matches and no interference that got Charlotte
I
the
almost
loss.
didn't put Bailey because I kept thinking about the WrestleMania win.
Well, then the facts are wrong, but the person's right.
That's
So,
fine.
but-
So you were at, I had you at Rhea for a belt, so that's 2 points. You had the right belt.
Yeah.
And then you had Sasha. And did you have belt location?
Not for any of the other ones.
Okay, so
I
that's
have
3.
5.
And then you had the other 2. Okay, total of 5. All right.
Well,
Randall.
my first answer was Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Raw and SmackDown title for the triple threat match, but apparently multi-women matches weren't. Then I put Bailey. Then I put Rhea for the Raw title, Sasha Banks. So
6 points.
I was going to say this withstanding, it's 6 points.
6 points. In total, so you guys are obviously Eddie won with a total of 7. The total amount of possible points 9, 12. Another 3 for 16. Another. There were 19 total possible points. For the guidelines that I gave you all, Becky Lynch beat Charlotte clean for the SmackDown Women's title at Hell in a Cell 2018. Bailey beat Charlotte clean.
You wanted us to give you a year to get the extra point?
No. You just had to give me the location. Like if you gave me the
shouldn't I
event,
have gotten 3 points for these 2 then?
You did.
You said 2.
No, you got a total of 7. You have 4 from the first 2. Then you have Becky and SmackDown.
Also, does it matter? You won.
You
No,
won.
I know. I'm just asking.
You won without that.
Like you won.
I'm
You won
asking for
easily.
future reference.
You got all 5 people. You got 2 belt locations. You have the correct belt. So that actually is 9.
Yeah, so that's what I was
And then
saying,
SmackDown 10. So you would have 10
Oh, okay.
points.
Yeah.
I
So
thought it
yes,
was 7.
he definitely won.
Yeah.
definitively.
You win, Pumpkin.
No, I'm a greedy.
I'm proud of you.
A
You
word I
won
can't
the hard
say.
game, as I thought you were going to. Anyway,
Yeah.
Bailey, on the 2019 episode of SmackDown, beat Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Belt. Ronda beat Charlotte at Backlash for the SmackDown Women's Belt in an I Quit match. Rhea, obviously WrestleMania 23 for the SmackDown Women's. Raw.
23?
This 23 the year, not 23 the WrestleMania number. Calm down. And then this actually surprised me, but it makes sense. Sasha Banks beat Charlotte on 3 separate episodes of Raw in a 5-month span for the Raw Women's Belt.
I remember. I remember the submission match. 2 when she did it in the ring clean, and then when she did it on the rail.
Yeah.
I need to have more submission
If I
counts
had put
anywhere.
Sasha Banks, Raw 1, Sasha Banks, Raw 2, would that have counted?
Yeah.
That would have counted. Dude, I would have.
Yeah.
You're counting all the instances that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that did. Randy obviously misheard the rules, but for you two, did I make the rules unclear?
You made
it sound like I could only
I
put
understood
5.
it. I just couldn't
I was
remember
you said
anything.
name the 5 people.
Yeah,
so
you
I
did.
didn't think
You
I could
did say name the
someone
5
twice.
people. That's
No,
the
I
only
heard
thing.
what he said.
Look, you're still
He
naming
said
the person.
He said for extra points, name the belt that they won.
Yeah.
And the place that they won.
So I guess if they did it more than once, you could do that.
And I even said before we start, because Eddie asked me, are you talking about the specific people or the instances that they won? I said the instances that they won.
Listen to my own
That's
question.
crazy. So you could have just said Sasha
But you
Raw,
still won.
Sasha Raw,
Yes.
Sasha
Still won, my
Raw.
I know I'm
Like,
a greedy winner.
Then I specifically did that for you gentlemen because we're competing for you guys are competing for something. This is what a hard challenge looks like.
Dang. Okay.
And what is that key letter?
The
for the
letter for game number 3 is Eddie. And the letter will be W.
For what's good, haha.
W for Atlanta.
And the difficulty for
W
the
for
next game,
Walanta.
Mr. Eddie. Which I
Hard,
can already guess. Yes.
extreme,
Hard again.
as hard as it can possibly be. Damien Demento matches. You know who Damien Demento?
At least we did better during the hard.
You
one
guys
than we did.
did better than I thought
Yeah,
you
honestly,
would.
we did better in the hard one than we did
I
in the
knew
other
the
one.
second I threw in just clean victories for
Yeah.
the belt,
I
it was
did
going to trip
not-
up
I-
a
for
ton
real.
of people.
For real, I did not
That
hear
would have
singles
actually did
only.
trip me up a lot.
And the
'cause
NXT title reigns were red herrings
Yeah.
because she lost them in multi-man matches and didn't even take the pin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Bailey.
All right. Well, that concludes this episode. Anyone have anything they want to say before we jump out of here? Congratulations,
us.
Eddie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just making sure that picked up. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and make sure to tune in with us each and every week on Spotify and Apple Music.
Right. Let us know in the comments how well you would have done with this quiz. And remember, no multi-woman matches.
Let us know why you think Nia Jax never beat Charlotte for a women's title.
It's because WWE's scared of good booking. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.